Hello, welcome back. I'm Lori Williams. I am a psychic medium, energy healer, animal communicator, and spiritual teacher. And today is day 5 of the 5-part series. It's called the How To series. So, this is the final day for it. And today we're going to be talking about how to find joy in each moment. So ultimately, what it comes down to is you need to have at least a basic understanding that you can change your thoughts at any time. You do have that power to change your thoughts. You have the power to change what you focus on. You have the power to change what you are attached to mentally or emotionally. This is where your power is in controlling yourself. So that doesn't mean that you're going to be good at it, though. I'm going to warn you that don't be hard on yourself. Show yourself some grace and compassion as you're learning a new way. But ultimately, if you've never been taught before that you have these controls, that you have these powers to be able to change what you're focusing on, change what you're the things that bother you. It's just about changing your perception on it. So if you're going through something that is feels like super stressful, if you can find a way to just shift your perspective to something that feels more positive or feels lighter, that's going to help you to find joy in that moment. So in the times, like, let's say for an example, I'm going to go out with a heavy hitter. If you Let's say if you've experienced a death in of someone that you were close to, um, obviously, like, I'm not saying to bypass the grief part. Obviously, you need to grieve and you need to feel all those emotions that come with that. uh but there is times where grief can feel very heavy, and the best way to change your perspective in that moment is just to switch yourself from thinking about the death to focusing more on the happy memories, or like the good things that person is leaving behind. It might be children, it might just, memories that you've shared with them, whatever helps to bring that smile to your face, is allowing you to find joy in that moment. One thing that I do, especially around loss, is I always look for, like, what is the greatest lesson I learned from that person. Because when we are aware that someone that we cared about is now gone, if you've learned a valuable lesson, and it doesn't necessarily mean it was a good lesson, it might have been a very hurtful and hard lesson to learn, but it's still a lesson learned regardless. And if you can honestly say, like, hey, I learned this from that person, it's almost like their part of them still lives on through you. So ultimately, when regardless of what's going on, if you just need that mental break, because you find yourself way too stuck in your own mind, overthinking things, overanalyzing things, and you just need that few minutes to be able to breathe and find joy in that moment. Just literally shift what you're focusing on. Everyone has something good in their life, or someone good in their life, that they can change their focus to. And that's how you find the joy in every single moment. Every moment is you're capable of experiencing joy. If you are feeling as though you're stuck, or that you're unable to shift the narrative from something that feels heavy to finding joy, you may have to work a little bit harder to untrain yourself or to retrain yourself to find the joy in everything. Um, Ultimately, it could be just something really small. It could be one thing that I love, absolutely love, is flower gardens. And I always, every year, I put a big flower garden out in front of my house, because I love, no matter how my day has gone, I can walk out of my house, and I see all these different colors. And for me, that's a source of joy for me. Just stopping, literally, to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. Stopping to recognize. It might be a pet that brings you joy. It might be someone that you love that brings you joy, or even just the thought of them. They don't even have to physically be there. But it doesn't matter what you're going through. You can always find a little bit of joy. And one thing that I encourage with my private clients that I work with, when we're working on, like, healing traumas and things, is to be more intentional about finding that joy, or even creating the joy. If you need to create joy in your life to let yourself be able to just separate yourself for a little bit between what's going on, then do that. No one said, like, if you're going through a hard time, that you have to sit there and stew about it 24/7. No one said that. That's not a rule. That's not anything that you actually have to do. So you can make the choice to sit there and stew it for 24/7, or you can make the choice to just shut it off, even for 5 minutes, and find the joy in something. And I always encourage everyone to find the joy in every day. Make sure that you're finding joy in every single day. Multiple times a day is obviously ideal, but even if you can only find joy one time for 2 seconds, you know what? At least you're being intentional about it, and that's kind of the point, is being learning to be intentional with the thoughts that you're having, and realizing that you're not actually stuck there. You're just falling on default programming. You can change your default programming one step at a time. It starts with finding joy. We always have joy. Just something happy to think about. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for this series. I will be back here for just regular content starting next week, and I will see you then. Until then, take care. Bye for now.